Blaze It I-91, the Blaze It Hampton Morning Show. It is Wednesday. That means it's time for a health healing in Hampton Roads. And definitely today we got to talk about just standing and being healed with a lot of different things. Let's talk to Troy Eaton, who's no stranger to the music industry around the 757 and around the country. He is the executive director and founder of a support group that's called Brothers Keeper Male Support Group. Troy, welcome to the radio station.
Good morning, dog. Pleasure. Happy to be with you this morning.
Yes, indeed, and glad to have you along. And we've been knowing each other for a long time for the music industry. 757. Let me just tell you, he has definitely been there for the 757 and supporting the 757 in a lot of different facets over years.
Years.
Yeah, years. There you go. Let me talk about what you're doing now with the Brothers Keeper Male Support Group. How did this come about?
Well, I was on Facebook I've been off of Facebook for years.
Okay.
And I finally went back on to promote a book that I put out. And I just stayed on it. And I started gaining all the friends and reconnecting with a lot of people. And as that year went on, I was noticing a lot of disturbing posts from brothers that I know, talking about suicide and, just wanting to end it and having nobody to turn to and to talk to, and they just was done with life. And, one in particular, I reached out to him. I didn't even call him. I texted him and said, hey, man, I'm checking you out. You good? And he was like, yeah, brother, I'm good. I didn't see him for about a week, and when I finally ran into him, he told me, like, yo, you saved my life, man. He said, I was looking for a sign or something for somebody that cared, and your text came through, and it was just like a sign, and I was like, wow. So that, that kind of touched me, and I thought about it, and I kept reading these disturbing things, and I said, you know what, we need support. Men need support, too. So I posted a video on my Facebook page saying, hey, I'm going to start a male group, and, just to see what the response would be, and it was overwhelming. Everybody was like, yo, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And that's how I created the Brothers Keepers.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about, accountability. And especially if we want to heal each other and be there for each other. So many things since we got into COVID-19 as it started to rip apart and people felt like they were all alone. A lot of issues started to come back up and things like that. We need to lean on each other in a lot of different facets, Troy.
That's very, very true. But COVID, to me, to some people, it was tragic. A lot of people lost people and went through things and the sickness and the virus. But if you take something positive out of something negative, you'll look and say COVID, for a lot of people, was a reset. It gave us the time to reset our minds and start thinking about what's really important.
That's really good, because now, as you push that reset button, you're looking at, what is important to you? Is it upholding community values? Is it family? Is it, working 9 to 5 or making the money and being able to have it? You look at so many different things, and I guess you were looking at being your brother's keeper.
And exactly. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at that time, I was doing nothing. I was doing nothing. I wasn't working. I was, we was on furlough, wasn't working. But I'm still, I'm active and watching what's going on around me. And I'm seeing, a lot of people are disturbed and a lot of people need help. These brothers out here suffering, and it's a lot of, broken men out here.
Yes.
I included myself. A lot of us, we're broken. You know what I'm saying? And it takes each other to fix each other.
There you go. It's a lot going on, especially with looking at the full trichotomy of man, because when you bring the full trichotomy together, you have to have a healing in the spiritual realm. You got to have a mental healing in order to have a physical healing going on. So you have to be able to pull all of those together, because once you start to have that faith that things are going to start to happen, you can redevelop and refocus your mind in order to change your actions.
Right. See, you hit on something that's very important. At the meet and greet this weekend, I had a brother, Melvin Willett Jr. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, my brother. but he spoke on something that was very important. The energy that's within us. So when your days are over and you're being judged, what are you being judged? You're being judged on what did you do with my energy? And when he said that, it was strong. It's like, yo, we all have this energy. You can touch the outside of us, but you can't touch the inside, like an electrical cord. You know, you can touch the outside of the cord, but if you touch that metal on the inside, it'll kill you. He said, you know, people can't touch the inside of you. You have the energy within you. What do you plan to do with that energy? And when he said that, it sparked in my head like, wow, that's deep. What do we do with our energy? I'd rather contribute my energy with more energy and make something bigger than just to have a little flicker on my own.
That's very good, because that's a very, very powerful, because, you know, when you mess with energy, it can be destructive or constructive.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is definitely real good. Now, when you're talking about bringing men together, what is it that the support group does for each other now, since you're developing and we're starting to get back in, where we can have meeting spaces?
Yes, with the support group, it's like this. This is how I look at Brothers Keepers. It's more of a mental health prevention. You know what I'm saying? The best way to attack something is to get it from the start. So I'm thinking if the weight of a feather is enough to break a man's psyche and break your mind, just the weight of a feather, because you have so much already on you that a weight of a feather can snap you. Let's take away these feathers. Let's look at what we can do to not take away that one feather that's going to make you snap. But let's take away a whole bunch of these feathers that you don't even need to release that weight on you. So coming together and discussing that's the reliever. You know, most men, we go through issues because we don't want to speak about it. We think it's weak to speak about our issues, but it's not weak. We hold it inside till it festers and become a mental health issue or a physical issue. We have to let it out. We have to release it. And we have to know that we're not alone in whatever it is that we're going through. Whatever you're going through in life, there's another brother out here that's been through it and got through it and can show you the same way to get through it. So we need to lean on each other. And at the same time, it's a networking tool. You got brothers we got Grammy-nominated writers and producers that's part of Brothers Keepers. We got actors. My man Alfred Reuben Thompson out in California, he's an actor. We got agents. We have therapists. We have a lot of brothers in different facets of life and employment and occupation, part of Brothers Keepers. Now, we all come together. We can help each other.
That is definitely real good that you have all those different aspects as part of the group. Now, if I'm looking at things that have happened to us over the last year, we're talking about we felt helpless to the point where we saw George Floyd, get just totally murdered with the knee on the neck. We saw so much start to go with civil unrest and being able to go out and protest and everything else with Brothers Keeper. Have you touched on some of that inside of your sessions?
Inside the sessions, we actually have not. It's more of people's personal issues, but we will be coming up with these topics because in Brothers Keeper, there's no color. It's not for black men, it's not for white men, it's not for Asians, Latinos, it's for everybody. You can't heal and bring people together if you separate them. So we have to come together. And I think that's one thing in this country that's always been an issue, has always been separation instead of real unity. We can't say that we're unified if everybody's not a part. Brother Keeper, everybody's a part. Asian, Latinos, whites, black, we all stand together. All stand together.
In order to uplift each other and to be able to hold each other accountable for your actions, you have to stand united in that front.
You definitely do. And how can I understand what goes on with a Caucasian man or Asian man if these brothers are not part of me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's a good way to lay a good foundation.
Yes, definitely.
Now, tell us if we want to be a part, if we want to join up with you as part of Brothers Keeper, how do we get involved?
All right. All you have to do is contact me at Troy Eaton at Brothers Keepers msg.org. Or you can contact me at brotherskeepersmsg@gmail.com. I get your info. We exchange numbers, and then we can get together. I like to meet everybody on a personal level and bring them in. We just open an office space that'll be open next week. So make an appointment, bring you down to the office. We can sit and have a conversation, and, anybody can join Brothers Keepers. It doesn't matter. Like I said, whatever color you are, whatever race, whatever background, you can join Brothers Keepers. It doesn't matter. If you're ready to be united with other brothers and network and make something big, you are part of Brothers Keepers.
There you go, Troy. I thank you so much for just coming on and just sharing, because that is what we have to do. Just a few weeks ago, I was watching the Red Table discussion between Will Smith and Kevin Hart, and I was just saying that we need to hold each other accountable and have these type of discussions like that Red Table discussion.
Yes. You have to put it on the table, and that's, part of the meetings will be leave it on the floor. When you come there and you hash out your dirt, whatever it is that's bothering you, you leave it on the floor. And when you walk out, you leave it there on the floor. You don't take it with you. You release that pressure, that stress. Leave it there on the floor.
There you go. All right, Troy, as our time is starting to wrap up, one more time, give us a way to reach you.
You can reach me, Troy Eaton, at brotherskeepersmsg.org, or you can reach me at brotherskeepersmsg@gmail.com.
All right.
Anytime.
Well, there you go. Thanks a lot, Troy, for coming on and talking about Brothers Keeper Male Support Group. You're listening to Blazing Hot 91 and Health, Healing, and Hampton Roads.
Thank you, Doug.